Hi guys, welcome to the next video, jamesandstephaniehearn.com. Today I'm going to cover the ego, but before I do, I just want to say that for some reason I'm feeling a bit apprehensive today. I always shoot these videos in my workplace because that's the only chance I get, but I'm just sort of really conscious today that anyone can walk in at any time and sort of wonder what on earth I'm up to recording myself and making videos in a meeting room in work. Never really thought that before, but today I'm a bit more aware of it. Maybe it's related to Dawn's videos and her situation with work at the moment. But anyway, I'm sure it'll be fine. So today I just wanted to quickly and concisely, so I'm going to try and do a video under 5 minutes, just briefly touch on the very complex subject of the ego. So I don't know how much you are or not aware of the ego, so the voice in the mind and how it plagues us and is not always on our side. Let's just say it's I don't like to use the word, but I guess sometimes it works against you. It's more like an enemy than a friend. And just putting it in its place and becoming aware of its existence is the first step towards just taking control of your own mind and then subsequently your own emotions. You know, if we can do that, if we're going to be the best versions of ourselves, if we're going to become super high achieving entrepreneurs, then as we all know, self-development is a huge part of that. And you can't really touch the subject of self-development without looking at the ego, because the ego causes us so many problems. Now, when you look at the ego, you might think of someone with a lot of vanity, a megalomaniac, someone who has a high opinion of themselves. And that's true, that is an egoic person, but it does conversely work in the other direction. And I think it's that direction, the opposite direction of that, where a lot of us suffer. And that's self-doubt, low self-esteem, inhibitions, just afraid to be who you truly are, afraid to express your emotions, especially if you're a guy. But you know, if we're going to develop as people on this path of creating a business, because it's so much more than that. To create this business, you've got to grow yourself. We have to evolve as people, so we need to become aware of how our mind works. You know, we need to study that and start observing our weaknesses and the patterns of thought that have created who we are. You know, our life circumstances are down to the thought patterns that we've had. You know, you can simplify it and you can boil it down to everything you see around you is a reflection of your state of mind, and your emotional well-being is intrinsically related to your mind and how you think, the sort of thoughts you have. You know, how much effort do you put into positive thinking? How much effort do you put into controlling the negative thinking? So for me, it's a massive subject. One I'll need to cover over a few videos, I think. But just to touch on it and just to get things started, I just wanted to read a quote from the wise old sage Eckhart Tolle, or Eckhart Tolle, however you want to say it. You may or may not have heard of Eckhart, but he's produced some amazing works on the ego, and this is what he says about observing your mind. So the first foundational step is to become aware of what kind of thoughts you habitually think, especially negative thoughts, irritation, anger, impatience, and perhaps even some kind of sadness. You might, for example, complain about yourself, how useless you are. If you start to hear these repetitive thoughts, then you suddenly realise, I've been thinking these same thoughts again and again almost every day without ever knowing it. And which is so true. You know, up until now, for me, I can only speak for myself, I can't speak on behalf of anyone else, but for me, you know, up until recently, in the last few years, I've gone through life stuck in the same thought patterns about people, about me, about my capabilities, about my potential in life. You know, it's been the same sort of self-destructive thought patterns that have prevented any sort of meaningful success in my life so far. And that's quite difficult to say, but that's because it's going against the ego. The ego doesn't like to hear that. But you know, I haven't achieved exactly what I wanted to in life, but this year is different, and to go against it, I must go against the ego. Now, I notice my time is getting up to 5 minutes, so I want to end it quickly. I will touch on this subject again. Thank you for listening, have a great week, and I'm really enjoying watching all your videos. Take care. Speak to you soon. Bye.